Greetings everybody, Sive Morten is here with the Forex Peace Army.com. Let's keep going with the gold market analysis. So, with the breakout that we've got on Friday, mostly we could say that the tactics that we started to discuss a couple months ago, when we have recognized this pennant on the weekly chart, not this one that you see on the chart, this is daily, but those that we have on the weekly chart, and signs of the bullish dynamic pressure, we said that most probables will get the upside breakout. Besides, fundamental background also support this. So today, as usual, we prepared weekly report when we have trying to take a look underwater of the big events that have happened recently, what consequences that they could have for the gold market, and what perspectives actually we see with the gold market as well. In recent time, maybe not quite recent, but in general, we could say that the big fundamental shifts that are happening right now in the global financial system are going silently. They are mostly unsigned, and they are hidden under some hype events such as the Wyoming speech of the Jerome Powell or recent firing of the Lisa Cook, something like this that actually led them to release on the surface. In fact, how the fundamental background works, why we every time speaks about data releases, making the long-term analysis, budget deficit, debt in the United States, new borrowings by the Scott Bessent, and so on. Why this is important? Because these factors are making the constant pressure on the financial system, and this pressure get the release by particular hype events. So, for example, Jerome Powell makes some statements and changing the rate policy not occasionally, but because of the same fundamental events. Maybe we can't say definitely the moment when this pressure will be released, but we know the direction in which it will be released. In the recent 3-4 years, since we started our discussion of the gold market, when we said 3 years ago that you have to buy when the market was around 1650, our foreigners who follow us for actually a long time remember that when we discussed the gold market when it was standing at 1650 and we make a decision on long-term entry and so on. So, and we're keep going with this and keep keeping an eye on the actually these big events, because this is the key. Because sooner or later, but the same factors will make the Fed on some decisions. They force them to do this, and actually that's what we see. So in this report, as I said, we're taking a look at some events and trying to understand what stands behind them, and also overall picture what we think about the gold perspective and actually what could happen for the long-term analysis. Speaking on the short term, I think that here we have to stay focused on the nearest standing targets. If you take a look on the daily chart, you could recognize probably the dozen of the different targets. Starting from this, you could talk about this big butterfly to the upside, right, based on this one. You could talk about some kind of the ABCD patterns inside this one or the other one, or inside minor butterfly and so on. But I have chosen two targets that, by my opinion, they're most important. Why I have chosen particular these targets? Because both of them stands under the previous top, and or at least very close to it. It's most important, because if you even take a look at this ABCD XOP, it will stand around 35-36, which is above this area. And these targets are based on the clear patches, which are actually butterflies. That's why I think that these targets are most important here. Besides, both of them stands under our bond level on the gold, so they are achievable. That's what about the daily. On the 4-hour time frame chart, you could see that our Friday setup worked just perfect. We said keep an eye on the grabber. Grabber has been formed, market started up prediction, and our prediction stopped precisely at the identified target 3450. So this trading plan worked just perfect. Now, since on Monday it will be the holiday in the United States, market stands an important target. We think that the chances on a pullback here exist, and they are not really small. with this pullback, the one thing that we do not want to see is a too deep retracement. So personally, I do not want to see the drop below 34 and actually drop below the previous top and actually raising of this whole Friday upward performance. I prefer to see the retracement somewhere inside most tracing swing. It would be preferable if, for example, we will see retracement just to retesting of this top as was been formed. That will be just great. So following this logic, I have set the fib levels on the hourly chart. And you can see, by the way, what has happened here. It's OP, retracement down, grabber has been formed on the follow time frame chart, upward action. So, and once again, recalling this wage, right? So as we said, it's very often becoming the pattern for upward breakout, not for reversal as followed by the classical school of technical analysis. So modern markets are really cutting. So here's the fib level tree that you could see. And on average, I would say that it makes sense to watch on the two levels. First is 34.35, nearest fib support, because it agrees with the top that I just have shown you on the 4 time frame chart. Next one is a confidence support area on average around 34.20. So this is a range somewhere between 34.15, 34.23. So that will be the next level, because all other levels stands already below 34 area. And we do not want to see that market will erase totally this rally. That's why these two levels to watch for. The one moment for Tuesday session, on Monday gold market will be closed. So on Tuesday session, take a look. Here we have local XOP target. Market actually with our hand shoulders here followed accurately with this ABCD pattern. So COP has been reached, retracement. OP has been reached, retracement. So XOP here is also might be reached, and probably the market will try to touch it first before the pullback starts. So most probable that it will move slightly higher, or maybe it will be gap open, I do not know. But 34.60 probably will be reached first, and then retracement will start. Don't forget to adjust levels correspondingly. So all of them will stand slightly higher than this one. So, and let's see what will happen if our plan will go as it is, as it should. So that's why we should get nice entry opportunity, and hopefully we will proceed to the butterfly targets that we have on the weekly chart. So link to weekly report, as usual, I will put down below in the description to the video. So take care, see you next time.